What's going to surprise your fans to know about you?
Oh, gosh.
Gabrielle Union.
I've been exposed.
Surviving trauma.
I was raped at gunpoint at 19.
Her struggles to become a mom.
The well was dry.
Her leading man.
Watching him evolve, it's been amazing to watch.
Being Black in Hollywood.
Black actresses are so disrespected.
And her new project.
Damn, it's a party in here.
I got this, clearly.
Tell me a little bit about LA's finest.
It's the thing I am most passionate about. I'd love to explore what defunding the police would look like.
You can't live in this world today and not be curious. In fact, if ever there was a time to hear from more than the usual suspects, it's now. This is the Carlos Watson Show. Maybe we'll surprise you. Maybe you'll be mad at us sometimes, or inspired. Not only do I hope people will see more with the show, but I hope they'll do more and be more. People, the good stuff starts now. Do you like acting, and did you like acting from the gate, or were you like, you knew enough to know this was special that you were getting to do it and you were just going to roll with it?
No, I mean, I didn't look at it as a real job. I was like, how much are they going to pay me to stand next to Screech? And they were like, I think it was like the SAG or the after, it was an after show. And they're like, oh, like it's only like $1,200. And I was like, what? I literally said like 2 lines. I didn't even have a name. I was Mistletoe Girl number 2. And I was like, this is how much I'll make? I'm gonna give this a try. And it was only because, I'd taken out student loans. It just sort of felt like something to do before my real life was gonna start. And then it just kept going.
The lovely, the talented Gabrielle
Union.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle Union
Is here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So when did you break through in your mind? Because you know the journey better than anybody else. Like, when was there a moment where you felt like this is no longer something that I'm just kind of trying, I'm just kind of playing at?
I said, it's cold in here. There must be some bubbles in the atmosphere.
Right after Bring It On, where there was name face recognition, where it stopped being something I was kind of doing to make money and pay off my student loans and help my family.
You want to make it right? Then when you go to nationals, bring it.
Where other people on the street were like, Gabrielle Union. And when they start saying your first and last name, it stops being something that's yours. You kind of start to belong to other people. And I was like, oh, is this what I gotta do now? Like, am I a real part of Hollywood? And then the responsibility kind of kicks in. Then you can't really stop because you're providing, shelter and education and all of these things for so many people that it stops really being a choice, and then it's just a necessity.
Have you ever, has there been a role that you really, really wanted that you didn't get?
Yeah, all of them. And I've talked about it before, but, at the time, there just wasn't a lot of, opportunity for Black women, like grown Black women, to play, nuanced, complex, delicious characters. And so when Shonda Rhimes created the role of Olivia Pope, everyone and their mother auditioned for that. And everyone wanted it because it was the only thing like it. And for like a whole generation, it was all, we all had to look forward to. And I was eliminated. I think I got it like to the top 5.
Well, guess what? Grow the hell up, because that is how it is.
When you look back on that experience now and you take it all in together, do you look back on it positively? Do you look back on it because of the way it ended not positively? How do you look back on it?
No, I mean, I'm not a coulda, woulda, shoulda person. Like, obviously the right person got the job. But it was the experience. Black actresses are so disrespected at every step of the way. And what Shonda did was create this beautiful, respectful process with the casting process. We're never given that kind of consideration. or respect. And she treated us all so well, and she handled us so beautifully, and she was so nurturing. So even though, like, you know, only one person got the job, none of us left there feeling bad.
Our home is the training ground for her dreams policy. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Do you think there's something happening in this moment here, given the Black Lives Matter conversation, that is fundamentally changing the terrain for you and other actors and actresses? Or is it more lip service or more aspirational?
So there's more opportunity, period, now more than there has ever been. And that's not saying that there's been these huge monumental shifts. There's just so many shows being produced because of streaming services, all these new cable shows, you know, YouTube. There's just so many. There's so many hours of programming they need to fill and cast. So yes, as a byproduct of just more, there's just more. Now, what are those roles like? Are we getting paid, comparably? Are we being respected in this process? Are they hiring hair and makeup people who are qualified to do all of that, all of this new diversity and inclusion that everyone speaks of? No. Are the crews reflective of all this new diversity and inclusion? No. Directors, writer, no. So even though there is more, we are at, this is the tip of the iceberg, and we need to be able to fill in these ranks and have our numbers in Hollywood match our numbers in the country. And we are nowhere close to that.
Broke into the wrong house.
Gabrielle, who have been your best non-Black allies going forward in building this new world?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, somebody asked me this question the other day, and I'd kind of forgotten about the first non-Black real ally that put me on, and it changed my whole life, which was Aaron Spelling. Aaron Spelling, R.I.P., put me on a show called Seventh Heaven. And I wasn't a series regular. It was one of my first gigs, but he paid me like I was a series regular. So for Aaron Spelling to give me a quote as a reoccurring actress on one of his shows that was on par with, series regular money, changed my whole life, changed everything. But then there's people who I've never worked with, who I see doing the work, who I don't know at all, like Jessica Chastain. Jessica Chastain did something really, really key in the MeToo Time's Up movement, when her and Octavia Spencer, Oscar-winning actress Octavia Spencer, were doing a project together. And she found out that Octavia was not being paid well, and certainly not what she was getting paid. And she held out to make sure that Octavia got paid. And then she talked about it, which, it's one thing for people to be like, okay, you're getting screwed, this is what I'm making. And it's not a public thing, it's just, actor to actor. But for her to be so public and saying, are we really going to have a movement? Is this a movement or is it a moment?
Talk to me a little bit about Me Too and Black women, because when we heard Me Too, at the moment at least, it's associated disproportionately with white actresses. So I think of Rose McGowan, I think of Alyssa Milano, etc.
New day is on the horizon.
How did Me Too play out for you and other Black actresses over the last 20 years, and then as everything was going down?
For me, I was raped at gunpoint at 19 in 1992. And one of the first or the first cover I ever got in my career. This magazine called Savoy magazine that Bob Johnson created. And in that cover story, I decided to tell my story.
Going through, going from sexual assault victim to rape survivor, I never thought like being honest would have that kind of reaction.
It was like, what? But you're so normal. But you're sexy. And every time I would talk about it, more and more women and men would come to me and be like, hey, me too. Yeah, I mean, and people always use me as a part of the Me Too movement, and I gladly am. I've been talking about this since I've been a survivor since 92, but been talking about it since probably 2002. It's a weird case of amnesia, because it's like every time I talk about it, it's like, whoa, and then they forget. And then I'll be like, well, I'm, as a rape survivor, they're like, what? I'm like, I was on Oprah like a few times now. Like, how is it that you keep forgetting? But it's, no matter how many times I talk about it, it's like people want to put it out of their mind. Black women, as Malcolm X said, Black women are the most disrespected, unprotected women, that exist. And that's very true. And no matter how many times we're screaming about our trauma and our experience, it doesn't stick.
Were you scared to bring up issues? I mean, it's interesting now when I think about what you did at Savoy, with Savoy, and the boldness that took, because I remember it, and I remember how unusual it was. And I'm now reminded that you've been fearless a long time. When I saw you push for healthier workplaces more recently, part of me thought, I wonder if she's scared. I wonder if she's nervous. But now hearing you talk, I'm thinking maybe not. Were you scared to go there and to bring issues up?
No. It's more of, it's not fear though. I'm not afraid of much. Still a little afraid of my dad. I got to work through those issues in therapy, but I'm not afraid of much. And I am afraid of disappointing people. And when I look around and other people are seeing the same things I am, but they have no voice, they have no power. And I'm like, well, here we go. Let's put on our seatbelts. Here we go. As long as I can sleep at night, my pockets might be a little thinner, but my soul is full. So.
Gabrielle, what do you say to other people who are trying to be that courageous, but maybe don't know how to dream as fearlessly as you did and actually bring those dreams alive? What kind of advice do you give them?
Information is free. And when you share it, the more you change your intention from, I want to acquire all of these things, whether that be wealth or opportunities or whatever, to service. How can I be of service? It just opens the door to more. But when you're so single focused on acquiring stuff, it kind of begins and ends there. When you change your mentality and your intention to service, that opens up doors that you never even knew you wanted to go through.
When you look back on your dream pursuit, who was there to support you? Who really made a difference, and how did they go about doing that?
When they say, and a child shall lead them. I mean, she's not a child, but like the younger generation, like the Issa Raes and the Marsai Martins and, the Robin Thiedes, they are just doing things differently, unapologetically. They are unafraid of being their full Black selves in every scenario. And they're like, no, this is FUBU. This is FUBU filmmaking. And when I come through the door, if I don't see real representation at this table, this proverbial table y'all keep talking about, I'm cool to leave and build my own house that's full of a bunch of tables and chairs. I actually don't need you. And, our generation's like, because we just haven't moved in that way. There every so often, like somebody was like, hey guys, we might be able to do it differently. And I was like, shut up, we got the crumbs. And so we've been feasting on crumbs thinking they're full meals and they're not. And then you see what Issa and them are doing and you're like, it looks safe, guys. She just keeps getting more. So let's try it. And when I adopted what the younger generation was doing, the real change that we've been seeking, they've been doing, I was like, I'm gonna try. What are they gonna do? I thought, if you turn 26 in this business, you're technically, a senior citizen. So I've been on borrowed time for 20 years. What are they gonna do to me? Well, let me try. And I got more.
Tell me a little bit about LA's Finest and how you are enjoying that, and do you genuinely feel like this is the beginning of a new phase for you as a producer, as someone hiring people, pulling all this together?
Yeah, so years ago, I partnered up with my girl, Nzinga Stewart, who is freaking brilliant and she's amazing. And we created this project for Lifetime. This is a movie of the week for Lifetime called With This Ring. And we were able to hire our friends, and so Regina Hall and Eve and Jill Scott. And we were all up in Cleveland shooting this really sweet, rom-com. And that was the first thing that I executive produced, and I loved it. And after that, I was like, I don't want to be a part of anything that I don't get to have my hands in how this production is. And I was able to lure Jessica Alba out of semi-retirement, and she's also an executive producer. And we're the only show that has a Black woman and a Latinx woman as the two leads and executive producers. So we finished our season 2 just shortly before the world kind of shut down with COVID. We wanted to be thoughtful detectives, who are about justice, but aren't about brutality, and who are still so rooted in their own communities.
I've done some crazy in my day.
LAPD! Once broke the windows of my ex's Jeep in college.
Stabbed Jody Thompson with some scissors.
Who's Jody Thompson?
Some bitch.
When we get a season 3, I'd love to explore what defunding the police would look like. I would love to explore more of community policing. I'd love to explore more what if you defund the police and you have more money for mental health and education and after school programs and all of these other things that contribute to crime rates. What does policing look like? What does the world look like? Los Angeles look like for Sid and Nancy? I'd love to explore that.
If we go to jail, I'm gonna have to shank you.
You're gonna have to get past Roxy.
Roxy?
I go to jail with this face, first thing I do is wife up.
Tell me a little bit, if you don't mind, about what you've learned about love. What have you learned about love?
Oh God, what haven't I learned? You can be a down-ass chick or a ride or die without trauma. That whole "you complete me" thing it's a Hollywood creation that's not real. You should be pretty freaking complete by the time you join together with another person.
Without knowing you or Dwayne at all and watching from afar, which I realize could be completely wrong, I feel like you guys are in a better place, in a warm place today. And in some ways I'm surprised, because I've had a lot of friends who played professional sports, and I've often found that when they retired, things got harder for everybody. But has it entered a new season, and is there anything interesting you've learned, good or bad?
Yeah, I mean, and he was so transparent about it. And I remember I was sitting on the stairs at our house in Miami, and he was doing this interview, his last year, the last dance and it all, with Rachel Nichols. And she was like, so what's next? Right? And I'm sure she was like expecting some different answer. And he said, therapy. And I was on the stairs like, what did he just say? And he was like, therapy, I'm gonna need help with this transition. And I was like, slow clap for my husband. And he It wasn't BS. It wasn't, he's been very committed. So now he's like in a book club and he golfs. Like, I don't even know who he is, but it's amazing. Like, I fall in love with him, every day because he keeps evolving every day. He's different. He's just different. And it's awesome. And it's very sexy.
Me and my wife, we are proud. When I say proud, we are proud parents of a child in the LGBTQ+.
Tell me a little bit about your fertility journey. And I realize that's a big, open, ambiguous question, but I kind of mean it to be a little bit because I don't want to put a narrative on it. I kind of want to hear how you've approached your fertility journey. Will you share a little bit with us?
So I go to the IVF doctor, the fertility doctor, and she's like, we need to go straight to IVF. We're not going to try anything else. We're not going to try IUI. You kind of shot past that. You've got low ovarian reserve. And my body was like, like, the eggs were like, like dust. And so I needed to kind of sift through the duds and try to find the best eggs. So I never had great success. After we started IVF and we were implanting embryos, I was getting pregnant, but I was having, miscarriages left and right. And I ultimately was like, okay, I want to be a parent. I want to bring forth our child, and I don't care how she gets here.
So my first question for you, how nervous and or excited are you?
She came with her own swag. She's been very clear since birth, and she has been unimpressed since birth. And she is an original.
Gabrielle, do you mind if we wrap up by doing what I call rapid fire? So I hit you with a couple of things. I want your quick reactions to them. First question, who are your girls? Who do you roll with? Who are your girls?
That America knows, Regina Hall, Sanaa Lathan, Essence Atkins, Robin Lee, Jamel Hill, Carrie Champion.
Your favorite show on TV that you are not currently starring in? What show do you love? What's one or two of your favorite shows?
Oh, well, right now I'm watching I May Destroy You, which literally destroys me every week. What else? Oh, and like Insecure.
Oh, okay. That's it?
Where's the most magical place you've ever visited?
I'm biased because to me, there is no place more magical than Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska on football Saturday with the home opener. And I try to be there every year for the home opener. I'm back there with the guys. I'm like in the huddle. I'm on the sidelines. There is no more magical place than Memorial Stadium.
Before Dwayne, who was your favorite basketball player?
It's Michael Jordan. It's not even close. There's only one MJ. He's, and because he's a friend, he's that guy, like there's times where like we're just drinking wine and I'm like, oh, that's right, you're the best basketball player that like ever lived. Oh yeah, that's right. Let me get some more rosé.
Who's your favorite famous couple pair? So you and Dwayne like to hang out with what other famous couple? Who do you guys have the best time with?
John and Chrissy.
Actually, there's a lot of similarity there because she's got a great sense of humor, you've got a great sense of humor, and it feels like both of the guys have a little bit of introvert in them.
They're like not. They're both peacocks, but like undercover peacocks.
Fast forward 10 years from now, where am I gonna see you? What are you thinking about? What do you want? What would make you smile?
I'm gonna be in the stands being a psychotic Bobby Knight style parent watching one of Kov's games. I don't know if she's gonna play basketball or soccer or softball or track or swim or whatever it is. I'm going to be the psychotic, Mama June on the sidelines. Like, that's just gonna be who I am.
What's gonna surprise people? What's gonna surprise your fans? Even people who think they know you, who've been big fans for a long time, what would surprise them to know about you?
I love Words with Friends, and I have 23 games going right now. And I generally have over 20 going at all times.
And are you good or no?
I'm good. I wouldn't be playing that many games if I wasn't murdering people left and right. Yes.
You know what? I love you. You are a good trash talker, and you're a trash talker with a smile, which is the best kind of trash talker. So that's good. I love it. That is too good. I will have to play you at some point.
Come on,
Gabrielle, thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, bring it on. Okay. I will. Hey, I hope you really enjoyed the show today. I loved having Gabrielle Union on. She was so funny and alive, and what a big thinker. I love what she shared about fertility. So loved hearing about her love affair with Dwayne. Really interesting, her thoughts on the MeToo movement. I thought really profound. And then to have her openly say that the younger generation, the Issa Raes and the others of the world, are inspiring her and making her bolder, I thought was great. Listen, I hope you're loving this show, and if you are, please do the right thing. You know what that means? 2 things: subscribe and tell a friend. Thanks for joining. I'll see you soon. Hey, tune into the Carlos Watson Show. It's like no other. You're going to enjoy it every weekday on YouTube.